Hello everyone, welcome back to Nammalax Bengaluru presents current issue of the day. Today in episode number 180 we are going to discuss a very trending topic, that is Supreme Court's decision to ban dogs. The news is almost 15 days old, but it is again on the surface, on the news, is trending because of a recent unfortunate event. Recently in Ghaziabad, a young sub-inspector died because of a road accident which was caused by stray dog. She lost control of her bike and she fell down on the road, and a vehicle ran over her, resulting in the death of a innocent young aspiring sub-inspector. As a result, the issue of ban on these stray dogs has become in news and is also trending all the Twitter or X.com. So that is why we'll discuss various aspects of this issue. What was the Supreme Court ruling? What are the legal implications? What are the ethical implications? And how does other countries deal with such cases? And what should be the best sustainable way forward to address this issue? All these things will be discussed in today's class, so stay tuned. So, in syllabus, it can come under GS2 or GS3, polity and governance, and also with respect to health. So the context is, we are discussing it because on August 19, 2025, Sub-Inspector Richa Sachan, who is 25 years of age, tragically lost her life in Ghaziabad. A stray dog suddenly appeared in front of the road, causing her to lose control of her motorcycle, and she fell down and was fatally struck by a car behind her. So this issue of stray dog is in news again. So we'll discuss the background. What is the background to the recent Supreme Court ruling? And what was the recent Supreme Court ruling? Before Supreme Court gave a ruling, the ruling was given by High Court of Delhi. High Court of Delhi said all the stray dogs should be vacated. All the stray dogs should be vacated and shifted to shelter homes in regions of Delhi, Noida and Gurugram and Ghaziabad. The same was upheld by Supreme Court. So we will discuss this issue. Delhi-NCR stray dog directive. What did the court say? On August 11, 2025, India's Supreme Court ordered the immediate removal of stray dogs from Delhi, Ghaziabad, Noida and Gurugram, that is National Capital Region. They must be shifted to shelters and not released back. This aspect became a big issue. Next, authorities were allotted 6 to 8 weeks to establish shelters with CCTVs, helplines and comprehensive documentation. Any disobedience to this directive could invite contempt of the court. Okay, meaning they can be punished under the contempt of court directives. So this is the Supreme Court ruling, which resulted in huge uproar over the India. So we'll discuss what are the legal implications and why this ruling was necessitated. Why? Because of this. Okay, there are certain data which are in support of Supreme Court's ruling. That is, Delhi alone houses nearly 1 million stray dogs, that is 10 lakh stray dogs, out of which only 4,70,000 were sterilized, which is around 40%, which is far from the ideal 70 to 80% which was needed to effectively control the population. Next, dog bite cases in Delhi surged from 6,700 in 2022 to 25,000 in 2024, which is a 277% rise in just 2 years. Nationwide, over 3.7 million dog bites incidents were recorded in 2024 alone, with 54 suspected human rabies deaths. And also, WHO estimates suggest that India suffers up to 20,000 human rabies cases and deaths annually, accounting for around 36% of global cases. Children under 15 are disproportionately affected. Along with the health implications of the stray dogs, there is another issue, that is the cases of road deaths or accidents. Why this matters? Because incidents of fatal dog attacks, including children mauled to death in various states, have heightened public anxiety. And reports cite that just in Chennai, stray dog encounters cause up to 1 to 2 accidents daily. road accidents daily, sometimes leading to serious injuries and in certain cases fatality, which happened in the recent sub-inspector case. Stray dogs are reportedly behind 62% of animal-related accidents, more than drunk driving. Okay, that is how serious the case is. The recent rising trend of dog bites, that is 3.7 million cases per year, which is almost 10,000 per daily, signals an urgent need for systematic reforms. So, all this necessitated the Supreme Court to take up the case. Thus, all this necessitated Supreme Court to take the extreme step of vacating and storing them in shelter houses. Now, we will discuss what are the legal implications as well as ethical implications of this move. So, what are the legal dimensions of this particular move? The constitutional right. Supreme Court said this stray dogs, bites, attacks, as well as the road accidents is undermining few of the fundamental rights of individuals, such as court frames presence of strays in public areas is infringing citizens article under 21, that is right to life and personal liberty, and article 19(1)(d), which is the freedom of movement. Orders priorities public safety. So Supreme Court said that we are taking this decision under the context or pretext of public safety. Next, Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act and ABC rules of 2023. What is this Prevention of Cruelty Act? Earlier policy is effectively overridden in NCR by the court's no release back directive, while still requiring sterilization, deworming, immunization, and human sheltering. Okay, so before this before this particular ruling under the Prevention of Cruelty Act, there was two provisions, that is ANTR or CNTR or TNVR. Okay, sorry, CNVR or TNVR. What is the CNVR? CNVR is C or T is capture, that is capture the stray dogs, and N is nature or neutrate, that is sterilization, then followed by V, that is vaccination, the dogs are to be vaccinated, and then R is release. So this was provided in the provisions of Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act, so that the issue of dog bites or the issue of the stray dogs is adequately addressed while considering the human actions of human beings. However, this particular court ruling is overriding this ABC rules or overriding this CNVR rules. Implementation duties, that is NCT or the National Capital Territory and the urban local bodies must create shelters, helplines, maintain records, and ensure no mistreatment or overcrowding is happening with contempt risk for non-compliance. And then the status and the next steps are going to be, there was stay required reserved, so agencies are in a legally tight spot, that is move swiftly but avoid harsh actions that could be walked back. Okay, so these are the legal dimensions related to the ban on stray dogs. Okay, suppose fortunately or unfortunately, if there is a question asked in the mains with respect to opinion or the critical analysis of stray dogs conditions or the stray dog situation in India, you can use these as your supporting points. Next, what is the ethical dimension, which is the most important aspect of this stray dogs ban? The ethical dimensions are, first is human safety versus animal welfare. This is the major ethical dilemma here, that is preventing deaths, injuries, and rabies versus avoiding mass confinement, stress, and potential neglect in the shelters. Okay, obviously when all the dogs are like brought together and stored in a particular shelter home, this is going to lead to stress, this is going to lead to issues when there is no proper management of these shelters, so that has to be taken care as well. Next, the other ethical dilemma is feasibility and welfare risk. Rapid roundup before adequate well-staffed shelters exist can cause overcrowding or cruelty, something the court has explicitly warned against. The court has said, although we are ordering to remove all the stray dogs from the streets, it doesn't mean that you are going to shift them into a improper shelter house. You have to make sure that the shelter house is proper, which is with adequate facilities, which is provided with CCTV and all the ammunitions are provided, and only then these should be shifted. Okay, next, evidence versus sentiment. that is long-term population and rabies control or rabies control are data-driven public health problems. So policies must be humane and effective and not just reactive. These are certain ethical aspects that should be taken into considerations. Okay, so animal activist animal activist says that just CNVR or TNVR was enough. They say that capturing, mutating, vaccinating, and releasing was enough to address this particular health crisis. What was the need to capture and then keep them in the particular place? For that, Supreme Court said that we need certain time leeway. That is, there has to be a certain time has to be passed on. Only they can be released back. Okay. Despite them being vaccinated, what is the guarantee that they are not going to bite children? The death can not only be because of rabies, it can also be because of road accident. It can also be because of bites as well. So many of the children lost their life because of the dog deaths. So these are some of the issues which the Supreme Court has considered and given more paramount priority here. Okay, next. So if this is how India is going to deal with this case, how did other countries and what are the best practices around the world? So global best practices. The practice is first is the mass dog vaccination. According to WHO strategy, vaccinate more than 70% of the dog population to eliminate rabies by 2030. The most cost effective and proven approach in most of the countries. Next is Goa's success story. In a 30-day drive, 63,000 stray dogs were vaccinated, contributing to zero human rabies deaths in 24-25. So Goa has been a pioneer in this aspect. And also a similar case with respect to Chennai. Sterilization plus vaccination, that is CNVR or TNVR. Sustained intervention saw Chennai achieve rabies-free status between the time period of 1996 and 2007. It was through ABC-AR program. Next is Mexico's elimination. Mexico, through sustained vaccination and public health coordination, Mexico eliminated dog-mediated human rabies by 2019. Next is trace, register and enforce. Using microchipping, legal accountability for pet abandonment and adoption pathways to curb stray protection. It was supported by World Organization on Animal Health Standards. Okay, so this can be implemented in India as well. Now, a sustainable way forward. What should be the way forward with respect to this particular case? Short-term strategy. The immediate strategy should be targeting high-risk zones with captures, install traffic signage, launch helplines with quick response times. Next is shelter capacity ramp up. Building modular, monitored shelters with adequate veterinary care as well as transparent dashboards. Okay, only then they should be moved to the shelters. Next is public health backbone. Mass dog vaccination up to 70% coverage, integrate with rabies treatment as well as surveillance. Next is population control. Expansion of ABC programs with the geotagging, waste management to discourage rendezvous hotspots. We have to identify the hotspots where there is more bites, where there is resulting in more rabies. Those areas should be prioritized first. Next is legal enforcement. That is microchip register for pet dogs, strict anti-abandonment laws and structured adoption drives. Okay, we have to understand where did the stray dogs come from. One is they are naturally born in the stray itself. Other is people adopting a pet or people buying a pet and then releasing them in the street when they are unable or incapable of taking care of those pets. That has to be taken care as well. So there should be anti-abandonment laws, meaning if you are adopting the pet, it is your responsibility that you take care of the particular pet. So there should be anti-abandonment laws as well and structured adoption drives. Okay, and many of the people who do not have the money or do not want to buy new dogs, they can look for these adoption centers. Okay, in these shelters they should be provided with an opportunity so that they can be adopted by people who are looking for pets. Next is transparency and accountability. There should be public dashboards, weekly court updates and audits to prevent non-compliance or mistreatment of dogs in these shelter homes. So, in this way, we can address the issue of stray dogs. Okay, so this is the issue which I want to discuss with you today. If you think you get something out of the video, then please hit the like button, comment on it, and also share your thoughts in the comment box. And also share the video with your friends. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon so that you don't miss any notification. With this, I will end the video. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.